So just to kick things off for our viewers, we'll first want to take you, we'll first want that you take us through a quick overview of what Shop Your Mortgage is, and what does it do?
Okay, so Shop Your Own Mortgage, we're actually a platform for US, Canadian, and Australian consumers. And we're not all over the US just yet because of licensing and regulation. But literally do what our name says. Let people shop for the mortgage themselves. We want people to use a free market in order to get the best mortgage for themselves, and not just the best rate, but the best program, which is the most important thing out there. It's so normal nowadays for people to have the conception of a mortgage broker, just to, oh, they're going to give me the highest rate, or just so they can make the most money off of me. But we don't charge any fees on any of our loans, and we allow people to shop the marketplace. We show them our rates. We don't hide anything. We're super transparent. That's how we are. In terms of how we use JustCall, JustCall has been absolutely amazing for us in terms of the flexibility that it's given us to work with our clients. It doesn't matter where in the world, even from eFax to the custom integrations that you guys have built for us, which is absolutely literally one of the biggest things that help us track our data and help our clients. So we know our clients better. So KYC, it's just easier for us to trace and track and get everything all aligned in one spot. So JustCall, you guys have been amazing. Even from the Hubspot platform, pushing calls from say a lender or from the title company, we can push it into the contact, so all the information is there in HubSpot. So that's been incredible for us. And any sort of other help I need with Zapier, etc. You guys have been there to help me and just pop on a call. I mean, it happened yesterday. I was on the phone super early in the morning. I really appreciate that. It helps me a lot, and it helps me streamline the business.
Perfect. So that's very comforting to hear. Since Ben, you've been you've been with us for so long, and I'm happy that we've been able to keep the services in the way that you'd like. Yes, it's been tough times for all of us since the coronavirus situation, etc. While I see that your office, you're still in a working place. So how have things been with all this situation, with all the pandemic, etc.?
So it's been rough, not gonna lie. The coronavirus, and especially being in California and our strict regulations, it really makes things difficult. However, the California governor has allowed the mortgage industry, financial services, to continue working. Obviously, I'm not wearing a mask right now because I'm sitting at my desk, but otherwise, when you're walking around, you have to wear a mask. In terms of like our actual products to lenders, from lenders to our clients, where a lot of products just aren't available in the market. There's a lot of things that are happening that are out of our control. The government has stepped in, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and the VA. We do a lot of VA loans in order to help continue those loans and make them go through to help keep the economy going. So it's been from at the beginning, when everything was super closed off and we didn't know exactly what was going on, we couldn't close loans because the lenders were closed, the appraisers were closed, we couldn't use title companies. The mortgage industry is still really reliant on just manual labor. So it's rough. There's still some products out there that still aren't available, but we're still able to get through a lot of things just because of the technology that we've built on our end ourselves to help push through what's called day one certainty. So we get appraisal waivers, drive-by appraisals, different things. So definitely the industry has had to evolve in order to continue on. But is it at where it was before? Absolutely not. Right.
Absolutely. That's absolutely correct. This whole situation has actually brought into us that phase that we had to, even we at JustCall had to adopt a lot of things. We started working remotely. as well.
Yeah.
And is your team? I think you also have a team in Australia, back in Australia, right?
Yeah, we have a team in Australia, in Ontario, in Toronto, and in Victoria, BC, in Dallas, Texas,
Right.
in Miami, Florida,
Uh-huh.
and here in Orange County. And we still don't have all of our staff in the office.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a limited amount. Everybody, obviously, we've been able to continue to make our phone calls as normal and continue tracking everything, because JustCall allows us to make calls wherever we are and have everything continue to be tracked appropriately. So that's kind of, again, another big help for us. So including like call monitoring, we can still do everything and have all of our sources tracked, and we know who's coming in, where are they coming from, and how it's working.
Right.
So we haven't had any interruptions in that sense.
Okay. Ben, in just continuation of this question and what you were talking, so you guys now have kind of like an idea of like what remote working is. Means you guys are actually operating from like multiple countries. So is there any tip or like any valuable advice you can give to us? Like, okay, so this was one kind of like hack we found, like this can help us to work remotely. So is there anything you would like to share with us?
To help working remotely. Well, geez, because there's so many things. It's just constant communication with staff, making sure that they're still working and they're following the systems, because a lot of times it's easier like, oh, I can just use my cell phone, but it's like, no, we continue a process, and we have to continue using what we're using so we can continue offering the same amount of customer service, the same level of customer service that we were offering before. We don't want any limitations to our clients. We want to still be able to track and make sure that we know what's going out, what's being said, what's being promised. And we use the recording functionality, obviously, with JustCall, so we have all that information stored. And it's just, I want to say, holding people accountable, but also being a little bit flexible as well. But still having them know that the process doesn't change.
Right.
Yeah. We still have to use the systems because we are a regulated industry, and we need to make sure we have all of our how we say here in the US, all of our ducks in a row. We have everything in line and in order.
Right. I think it's more of a situation now, Ben, where everyone needs to know or needs to take charge on their responsibilities as well. I mean, that's what I felt, and
Yes.
And that has been one of our hacks as well. Taking charge, knowing that okay, if I'm not going to do it, no one else is going to do it for me. So that's one attitude that has helped the most. If you talk about our team, that's one of the most important things that's come across for us.
Yeah.
Let's talk about taking charge. So let's say you have the charge for JustCall for, let's say, a day. What would be the first thing that you would want to change, or maybe improve, or maybe bring in something new? What do you think that's there on top of your mind?
I'm thinking, because everything that I requested from you guys have built for me. So that's a difficult thing to answer. Let's see, you guys have really helped me with the auto dialing system that we had at first when we had that in place. I am still learning more about the integration with Intercom, which we're implementing as we speak. So that's going to be super cool when that's done. I think maybe how we mentioned a while back is just the dialer. Maybe if we can have a little bit more space on there to type notes during the call, I think that might be the only thing I might recommend that might help my reps keep more accurate notes on the call and have those automatically transfer over to HubSpot as well. The notes do transfer right now, but there's no notepad during. I think there's no notepad available in the dialer right now. Am I correct or am I incorrect?
No, there is a notepad on both the dialers, one-on-one as well, also the Autodialer.
Yeah. So I just need to show my reps how to use that a little bit better.
I understand. And what I feel from your, from your perspective is that JustCall really does play a big role in your business operations, right?
It does. It does. Everything, all of our calls, everything goes out through JustCall. Text
Right.
messages. We use all of the automated text messaging systems in order to keep up with our contacts. We set that up with HubSpot workflows. When a client hits a certain point, hey, we got your appraisal back. Boom, there goes a text message. Hey, we got your appraisal back. This is what it's worth. We can use all the automations in HubSpot to send those out. So it's just really good to help us with client communication because clients don't read emails. They look at text messages. So that's like a thing that we've noticed and we really do use.
Correct.
Text messaging. All day, every day we get so many text messages. It's good for me as an administrator. I can go in and look at all of my reps and I can see all their text messages as well. And obviously, again, it's pushed directly over to HubSpot, so I can see from there on each individual contact. But if somebody took the day off or whatever, I still have access to their phone system. I can go in and continue on the conversation from there.
Absolutely. That's wonderful, Ben. Now, you say, as I was actually trying to get your approval on this, that that yes, JustCall does play a big role in your business operations. Now, let's imagine you're not able to use JustCall for a day, or maybe JustCall at all. What effect do you think that brings to your systems?
Right now, it'd be actually a really major hit because, like I just said, we have all of our automations, everything set up through there, and all the call tracking. So we would have to go back to the regular HubSpot calling, and it's not very. I mean, it works. We can send out messages, it records a call, but it's not as easy to use and flexible as we need because of all the different use cases that we have.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely would be. Sometimes, even when the servers are VPN slowed down a little bit and there's some issues where it's loading, which is very rare, doesn't happen often, it has an effect on our business. The type of leads that we have, we need to call immediately, so we can't have any wait time.
Right. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
So
that's a very important thing and a very intuitive thing that you brought over here. Wait time, because wait time, it kind of says that you have a communication gap between your customers, right? And how now I want you to give our viewers a little detail on how has JustCall reduced that wait time for you. I mean, what are the steps that you took? I mean, you mentioned the automated texting, the Autodialer, etc. But what have you done internally to use JustCall, practically as a system? Because we, as a provider, we know how to do it. But what have you done as a user to use the platform in a way that it ensures zero communication gap?
I mean, again, number one is being able to log each and every single call accordingly into each. I'm trying to find the right word. The right deal that it's associated with, the associated contact. Sorry. Right. So that's a big thing for us because you can get a call from, like I mentioned earlier, from a title company, and we don't talk to appraisers, but you can get a call from the appraisal management company. You can get a call from, there's a lot of hands that touch this process. So if we weren't able to push those calls to the associated contact and know exactly what's going on at what stage and have all of our notes in the system, that'd be a big issue because we would have to rely on the person that was on the phone with them. And if, hey, that person gets sick, or now you can get COVID, you never know. Like, we won't have any notes. We won't know exactly where the deal is or what was said over the phone. It's super important for us to have all of our communication for each specific deal notated and everything is recorded. If it's not, then at first we didn't have that. We didn't know we could use that functionality with JustCall, but we got to the point, since you guys a message, you guys helped me, we figured that out, right? And now it's actually made a big difference in helping our clients. and it's pushing through the loans. It's helping us push through our loans faster because it bridges the communication between all the hands that touch the client.
Perfect. Wonderful. Okay, Abhishek, I think you had a few things on your end.
Yeah. So when you mentioned like you didn't know about one of this particular feature, you can see the recording or one of that particular feature. So like you are using JustCall now for like I believe like for like 1.5 years. But before that, means what was your business process like? Means means if you can share anything like how you guys were like communicating with your customer. What was the process? What was the scene behind like before JustCall? If you can share that with us, it would be like really good to understand like how we are feeling.
We were using another call service, I think, for a short time. It's called Kixi, and then we were using obviously the Hubspot dialer. Just wasn't very flexible, and the integration with Hubspot was very, I don't want to say weak, but it didn't necessarily do with what we needed it to do. And if we reached out to their service team, they just weren't able to help us. They just said, sorry, our system just doesn't do that. We're like, yeah, and that was a big issue, and that's why we switched over. Like, we do use HubSpot, so we make sure that everything's pushed over, and I want the integration to continue to evolve, and you guys are continuously pushing more updates for that, and making it easier and better. So that's something that I appreciate. But before, it was like, okay, let's make this call from here. We'll do our best, but if, hey, oh my God, the call didn't transfer over this time, like what happened there? I have to go back into their back end of their system and try to download it, which sometimes they didn't do, and have to try to upload it into HubSpot. So that just took more time from me and as an administrator to keep tabs of things. So it was like with the introduction of JustCall, you guys were able to help me push over. And sometimes, I remember at the beginning, sometimes not every call pushed over. If the call was over like 30 minutes, which is rare, and we don't have many phone calls over 30 minutes. But now I haven't in the past year, I don't think I've experienced any issues with that. And obviously everything still is on JustCall dashboard, which is pretty simple to use. Just type in the contact name, phone number, whatever, and it pulls up. You have all the records there as well. So if for whatever reason didn't transfer, it's there. It's easy. You can find it. So yeah, it was much more difficult using just the basic HubSpot functionality. It works, but it's the flexibility is the biggest issue for us, because we want to make things different and do things differently than anybody else. So again, you guys have allowed us, I mean, even through the custom integrations, to get what we need done. You guys are always open to it. So I appreciate that.
Oh, thanks a lot, man.
Wonderful, Ben. So Ben, before, I think we'll have the last few things to say. Before that, I would want a few words about our team, to get the motivation going, to get it all pumping.
Yeah. And if you can give a rating to like the onboarding team, the support team, the product team, if you can give like a rating of in between 1 to 10. So that would be like helpful to us to understand like how we are like doing.
Yeah, I mean, literally from everything that I've ever experienced with you guys, I would say I'd give you guys a good 9, 10, all the way to the top of the spectrum. I would say 10 because it's like 2, but that's cheesy. Like, it's like, oh, you're just being nice, but you guys really are there. You guys use Intercom on your for your help steps on your help site. You guys are really quick to respond. With any random question, even if it's like with the Zapier connection, you guys are there to help you, because a lot of companies say, oh, well, that's the Zapier thing, you have to figure it out on your own. But like, get on a call with some of your team members the other day, and they actually like, okay, well, it's not work. I don't remember who it was. It
was Tarandeep. It was Taran, yeah. I was actually about to jump on that call, but I think he took over. So yeah, it was Taran.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, and they helped me out like, oh, well, no, you're thinking about it the wrong way. Let's do it this way, and let's push it over let's try to move the data and work with the data a certain way, and then we'll push it through. So we walked through it together over a screen share and just we got it done. And like, it was super early in the morning in my time, because that's the time that I'm usually available to take calls, like 6 or 7 in the morning. You guys were there to help me. So that was awesome. And Sandy, I mean, you've always pretty much been my main point of contact here. So if I have any questions, I just usually email you, or I have somebody from my team email you, and then you get us in touch with the right person. So you've obviously been incredible in helping us and getting everything that we needed. So I appreciate you.
Thank you for that, Ben. That's really kind. You know, I appreciate that. Okay.
Yeah. Even if I wake you up in the middle of the night, your team wakes you up. What was that? What was it the other day where something broke? And I don't know exactly what's going on. It was the custom integration wasn't working. I sent a message like urgent, emergency. And I think your team, like, they literally physically woke you up and you got on a call with me.
Yeah,
and we fixed it immediately.
It's been a very I'll say a very good relationship that we've built up in the past 1 year, since the beginning, because you actually helped us improve the Autodialer in a way, the Autodialer and Hubspot part. I remember we bought the whole Hubspot new contact sync directly into Autodialer for you. And then there was the filtering of the calls to be logged as activities for you as well. So it's been a very learning curve for both of us. And yes, that's one of the reasons I try and make sure that I always get in touch on priority for you.
Yeah, it's been great. I feel lucky. I'm like, okay, I have a contact there. I can call at any time and get anything I need. So it's great.
Wonderful, Ben. Yes, that's true. You can always count on us.
Okay, so yeah,
go ahead.
Something?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think I'm done with my questions.
Okay.
If you have anything for us, you can just let us know.
No, I mean, obviously, I'm just happy that we have good communication between our teams, and you guys are always willing to help. Any of my team members, even just when they write in randomly, because sometimes they write things and I don't even know. And when I get random messages, I'm like, what? Why did you ask that? But I do appreciate you guys and your team helping out my team when sometimes I'm not available to help them. So everything you guys have done has been really great and really kind. In onboarding, I tell my staff, if you ever have any issues or whatever with the JustCall dialer not working, just write in on the help bot and on the chat bot, and they're really good. They'll get back to you as soon as they possibly can.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. We are like just like 3 or 4 minutes away on Intercom. So
yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us here. I appreciate your time, and also Abhishek for arranging the session. And you take care. Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend.
All right, you guys too. All right, bye-bye. Stay safe out there.